Talk a little bit about Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. So Pro Bowl alternate. Take a look at these numbers. 6th in run stops, 1st in run stop percentage, 1st in tackles for loss. That's among off-ball linebackers with at least 250 snaps this season. What have you thought about the way JOK has played and how he fits into what it looks like Jim Schwartz knows exactly how to unleash him, I guess.
Yeah. Well, he's one of those guys, like, you look at some of these hybrid players, Isaiah Simmons was one of them, right? He's this guy who's like, okay, well, is he a safety? Is he a linebacker? You draft him and you figure it out later. Well, unfortunately, the Cardinals realize that's not really how it goes. You have to be able to find a home for this player, and then his versatility is supposed to be a plus. It can't be, oh, we'll just play him all over the field. It just doesn't work out like that. No one is that talented to be able to do those kinds of things. But for Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, he was kind of this, all right, is he a safety? Is he a slot defender? Is he a linebacker coming into the NFL? Because he was a little bit smaller, but he had that hitting power. He had that speed. And so they have found a really great role for him as a linebacker. So he's got a home base, it feels like, at that linebacker spot. But the speed, the playmaking, and now most importantly, the freedom is there for him. That, when you get that base position down, then all of a sudden, good defensive coordinators will say, okay, let's start expanding what you are able to do. Let's design the structure to give you a little bit more freedom. And I feel like this year, that is what they have done with Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, who, that tweet and a lot of people out there saying, hey, he's got a Pro Bowl season and all-pro season. He is definitely up there with one of the most impactful linebackers in the NFL. There's no doubt about it, because what they do, their team speed in the middle, he is a major part of what helps that defense be so dominant, as you mentioned.
You kind of alluded to it. So they basically played it exactly right with him. They gave him a role. When he mastered the role, they expanded it. That's kind of, I'm going to say it's good player development with Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah.
And it's something that you would think is an obvious, right? When you draft the guy, you go, oh, okay, this is not. But it's so funny how defensive coordinators and offensive coordinators, more specifically, I think there's more customization on what you can do with these guys on the defense side of the ball. But a lot of defensive coordinators say, hey, I've got my structure. I've got how I run the defense. And if you don't fit exactly what I'm doing, well, I'm just gonna play you here anyways. And that's how you see a lot of these guys not even be able to play to their strengths. But that has not been the case, thankfully, with Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. And now Browns fans are obviously happy. They're watching a very impactful player, but us around the nation as well, who don't maybe watch them every single week, we see the data points, we see the highlights, we see the impactful plays, and we just get to appreciate what he's been able to do on that defense.